the meeting. I have to send Brad notes. I forgot to start recording the meeting.
Oh, okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Halfway in.
But anyway, there's a formula that the town has that's it's in a building permit. You look at the building permit, so, but I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
Okay.
We could do it,
So,
where we required so many square feet of gravel, but more square footage of grass, of pasture, meadow, whatever.
But this is a permanent venue, right? Should we stipulate that if it's permanent, it should have semi-permanent parking?
If you look at the Mansfield barn, they have some gravel
Mhm.
parking, but they also park on the grass.
Right, like, so they have like
So
a
it just
gravel drive and then you like pull into a dirt spot. So like, how is,
And the place up in Cambridge, the Boyden Farm,
Mhm.
that's mostly grass parking, but,
yeah.
they've got a big field, right?
or the place on the mountain road, right on the corner of like Stebbins, there's a big venue there, right? You familiar with that?
Oh, yeah.
That's big. That's
the,
pretty big.
Yeah, that's a big venue. That's
Yeah.
Still Winery, they call it.
Yeah, and they have a big parking lot. They have. Yeah, I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a gray area that we shouldn't have really strict requirements for, and, just say appropriate parking,
There you go. Yes.
parking appropriate to the site or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
We're almost talking about two different venues, something that's commercial, that's a business compared to somebody who just has a family wedding or a Timbers
Yeah.
barn party. It's like it's kind of two
That's
different
different,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Those are exempt.
those are
right?
totally exempt.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about just a business.
Yes. Yeah.
Permit.
People mentioned accessibility, so
So I think the state's gonna dictate a lot of those details.
the state roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We mentioned, I don't know the first thing about decibel levels, but it seems like something worth addressing.
Oh, what's that?
Decibel levels, noise level.
I think that should be
I don't-
part of their
I don't know.
DRB's decision with the conditional use, because every situation would be different.
Yeah, and I don't know the first thing about.
Yeah.
what
I think
that
we
means.
have those for each zoning district, don't we?
We do.
Oh, it'll take a while to figure out where I saw that.
In connection with like, specific business areas?
I don't know, I don't think so. I think it had to do with just general. Access for that. General.
It's under quarries.
Really?
That was my guess.
Whoops.
Did you
Okay.
find it? Yeah, I just went right to quarries. I figured out there were.
Well done.
It's,
What's the page?
78.
Thank you.
I don't know what these mean though. It says it shall not exceed 70 decibels for more than 30 minutes in any 24-hour period. It shall not exceed 55 decibels for more than 60 minutes. I just don't know what that means.
That'd be,
Like,
well-
what is that? What level is that?
Your generator running is like 60 or 70.
Oh, like the
Decibels.
outside generator,
Yeah,
60 or 70.
or, that's-
Oh, okay.
So. Phew, I don't even know how you figure that one out.
Guess you Google standard decibel level for rock concert or something, and then
Yeah.
tone it down from there. So you know, like your starting level, what is loud.
decibels of Metallica show.
Yeah. I don't know if that would be acceptable.
What about the times while he's looking that up? Like, do
So
we
it
say
says-
they can only be there till
I think.
midnight
So
or?
Experts recommend keeping music at decibel level 60 to 85. No, this is probably for like headphones and stuff, but let's see, this kind of gives you an idea of what decibels are on a little chart. Let me go to this website because I can't. Okay, so normal conversation 60 decibels, heavy city traffic's 85, baby crying's 110.
Oh, wow.
What is a baby crying?
110. Jet engine's 120.
It's a biting one time though.
Yeah. Toilet flushing is 75 to 85. I don't know.
It's a jet engine total.
Yeah, maybe a commercial toilet, the ones that are like, look like they're gonna suck your whole body in if you fall into it. So yeah, I don't know. I would probably limit to like 85. Damage to the human ear, exposure to 140 decibels. Let's see. 8 hours of exposure to sounds measuring 90 decibels can damage the human ear. Exposure to 140 result in immediate damage. So a sound greater than 85 can result in hearing loss.
Measured at what point?
Well,
Property boundary?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would,
measure it.
yeah, I think that would probably be appropriate to take it to the
Yeah.
property line.
So we're saying, wait, sorry, what number did you say, Jeff?
This said, and sound greater than 85 can result in hearing loss.
So 85 decibels at the property line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want to be slightly
Maybe
conservative,
less
say
than
75.
85.
Yeah.
85 is the max, so less than 85.
At the property line. What do we want at the property line?
Well, you said 85 max would just be, say 75 and call it good because we're slightly less. Whatever. I totally impartial
How do
to
people,
how you want to do it.
it seems like
if you're
we
seeing,
don't have enough knowledge to make the decision on that to me, but
No more than 85.
Yeah.
and we'll circle back to all, this
I
is.
mean, if you're right at the stage of music, it's probably going to be 100, 110, which
Yeah,
we don't care about that. But it's your neighbors.
yes,
They don't want hearing loss because of your venue,
right.
so
Or to hear, maybe you booked a horrible band.
That too,
Like to
yeah.
hear
There's quite a few of those around here.
if you look at page 7 for this, the allowed use, the things you're allowed to do and not allowed to do in the different districts. I think we should not allow in the Underhill Flats Center and the Underhill Center Village, the two village centers, because there are a lot of things that you're not allowed to. If you
So
go
not
down through
allowed
here, yeah,
in
not
the
allowed.
flats
I mean,
or the center.
there's
Look, it's,
you're not allowed to have a quarry in the village center.
it's hard to take the position that you should be allowed to have a wedding
Yeah, right in the
in
village,
the middle of town.
yeah. Oh, wait, is that you,
No, I agree with you.
okay,
It's
well,
a tough argument to make.
well, there's
You
one
should
thing
be
that
able to do that.
we know for sure. Maybe, should we vote on that, or is everybody just a quick raise of the hands?
I mean, does everyone agree you should not be able to do these in Underhill Flats or Underhill
On a
Center?
full-time
Where your
permanent
neighbor's like
basis.
2 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Okay, we had talked about time. It seems like, should there be a cutoff time and a maximum duration? Or should there just be a cutoff time? Or am I not thinking of a category?
I think at night, how late in the night does this go on is important.
Oh, for sure. Yes. What do people,
or at least like, decibel level has, if it's an outside venue or like doors and stuff are wide open, because the weather's nice, like after 10:30, decibel goes down to 40 or something like that. So if you just want to have like a little acoustic thing indoors, there's that, but then like you're closed up by 2 a.m. or something, I don't know.
Quiet after.
Yeah.
After 10:30, you said?
It seems like the standard like quiet hour timeline for things.
Hours of operation.
So just again, as a draft, after 10:30, drop decibels to 40.
Yeah, I think 40 is, I mean,
And then
just
be-
looking at this chart, like 45 is library decibel. That seems pretty.
So be done by what time?
10:30?
Wait, done or drop the music level?
Well, the problem is if the crowd stays there till midnight and then all of a sudden 100 cars are going by, it's,
Loud again.
Should you be done by midnight? Like closed?
Probably. I think our
Midnight
like
sounds like a
prom,
reasonable
I think
time.
proms kind of drag into like.
Well, it would really
11:30,
be
so-
helpful if we could look at the permit for the Mansfield barn.
Yeah.
I can ask
Because
Brad.
What's that?
I'll ask Brad if he can send
Well,
us.
yeah,
rules.
it's because it's like that's a good example of what somebody could do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm still getting used to, I'm still adjusting to the fact that like everything goes like dark and quiet at like 7:30 around here. Yeah, right. So it's hard to say, like, I say like, oh yeah, midnight's no big deal. That seems pretty early, but that's like coming from the city.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to enforce, Okay, the party's going and the noise is continuing. The neighbor's gonna call who to come out and stop the noise, basically. Brad?
No, I mean, yeah, nothing's gonna happen that night, clearly. It would
Yeah.
have to be like a next day
Like, violation.
thing.
Complaint
Or
to the
Monday
town
morning, you're going to
and-
see Brad. And you're like,
Yeah.
Violation.
Which
Do
they,
we have a town constable anymore?
Town constable, good
No,
question.
I think the sheriff is gone.
I mean, that begs the question, do we want to have, I'm not saying you were suggesting this, David, but what you said does beg the question, like, if you're a perennial violator of this and they're just basically giving the town the finger, should there be a fine structure that goes in with this? Maybe not on the first one, obviously, but
Yeah.
you could make a ridiculous example where they just do it every weekend and just say, too bad.
well,
Or is the thing the town just pulls your permit and you're done?
Yeah, I was gonna say, revoke the permit.
there is in here, if you look, there is something about fines and for violations,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like per day or something, I think. It's actually in here somewhere.
Well, we can look
20
at that.
minutes to
Yeah.
find it, but
So sorry, I jumped ahead. Jeff made the point that Vermont shuts down earlier than
Yeah.
cities, which is obviously very true. Is everyone thinking 10:30 and midnight, or do those times feel late?
I don't know, or do you do like, well, it's 10:30 unless you apply for like an extension with the town because this certain event requires something at that point. I know that gets really like specific. I'm just thinking, I remember, I think it's forever ago now, but our prom like extended into like probably midnight, not at the venue, but like the post prom
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know what goes on in town here anymore as to like,
Yeah.
does it shut down at 10 and kids just go home, or do they go to another venue that's open till midnight? I don't know. But if there's a place that literally like thrives on that thing, I don't know if you want to kill their business for that either.
Yep.
For those certain events, not every event, but like maybe the off events.
So there's a
I-
possibility of extent.
Yeah, like done at 10:30 unless you file for like a exemption for additional time or something. I don't know. I know that makes extra paperwork and headache, but
so the Potchman's already got a permit for that wedding venue, right? And then that went to the.
I don't think they got it. Well, I don't want to say, yes, it's going through, but I don't know what they got or didn't get, because it wasn't regulated.
It's been through the
But yes, it's gone through the town
process.
already. Yeah.
It went to the DRB.
Yeah.
They gave them a conditional use.
That's what
permit.
triggered this whole thing. Not them, but like, what do we want to do in the future?
So we should look at that decision that the DRB came up with too, maybe.
I don't know that the DRB, yes, we should,
If
but
they
I don't
approved it.
know.
Because they would have placed restrictions on hours of operation, and I would think,
They might have, yeah.
yeah, but.
Good point.
So
Yes, Brad.
page 181 has the violations and enforcement. Pretty sure that it's rarely used.
Oh, yeah. 181. It doesn't really say much about it.
It doesn't.
It doesn't say how much, any appropriate action.
I don't know if it could be more vague.
Yeah. Yeah, crystal clear.
You get fined $15 per, I mean, there's nothing in here like.
Yeah, I guess basically the recourse here would be just pulling the person's permit.
So I don't know if they could do that though, because that would. I don't know anything. I don't know that. What can you say?
Well, let me put in a line item when it says,
If there's violations.
yeah, like, does this need a different mechanism,
Violations.
like a specific, yeah. Okay. That's quite a bit right there. Oh, someone mentioned distance to other venues. That's the last one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd figure that one out.
I don't know either.
I don't know how yeah, it seems like,
Are we not worried about that?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just, well, you guys tell me, should I dash these into short notes and I can email it around to everyone and maybe we think about it one more meeting before I send anything up? to
Yeah.
Charlie? Let's
Yeah,
do
that would be good.
Well, and ask Brad for,
Oh, I know,
if
well.
you can get that and then.
Manfield,
then
Barn and Podman. Yeah, I'll ask Brad about that.
I think I saw their sign, they're having some alumni thing early August too, so they obviously have something on file for that. I would assume, if they're already advertising it.
Who?
At the
Oh.
Mansfield Barn.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
like a sign out the other day, it said there's some alumni party
Okay.
on August 2nd or 3rd or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
22nd, I don't remember.
All right, well, I've got all those notes, so that's on my to-do list. Which takes us to,
So,
Sorry,
just,
David.
we didn't have the meeting recorded at the beginning.
we didn't, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna send an email to Brad and Amanda where I say, I forgot to hit the record button. This is what happened. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Write up a quick note. I made a note so I wouldn't forget who approved and seconded, and I'll say we approved some language on home occupations.
Yeah, right, just get it on the.
Yeah, no, it'll be in there. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it as soon as I get home, so I don't
Yeah,
forget.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be hearing from Amanda and Brad anyway tomorrow morning.
Just think of it. You could just say, you know,
Just make-
the changes to the,
Yep.
were approved by the.
Yeah, so that section of the minutes will just be a little less
Yeah.
detailed,
But
but
make sure they don't fire you.
I think it'd be impossible. Barring me burning down town hall on purpose. Not even on accident.
We'll all stand up.
Thank you. It's good to know you have my back.
Yeah.
All right, that takes us to camps.
I think we should keep them as it is.
No, David's coming out.
Wait,
where?
Camps on it here. I was looking for
I know, I see, the only thing I see is campgrounds.
Well, somebody has this house that doesn't have much room basically, but they like to have visitors from the relatives. They can put a small camp out on the edge of the property or somewhere, you know? I think that's okay.
That's an accessory dwelling.
Well,
Well,
it's a camp,
if
but it's a
it-
camp, basically, so.
If it's a camp without.
It's not an
facilities.
accessory dwelling, it's a camp.
What page are
An
we on?
accessory
I
dwelling.
don't know where it's at.
More,
I always see campground in here.
facilities and accommodations and so on.
We not have
And
it?
then definition.
You know,
where is
camp
it?
could just, it's not necessarily insulated, it's just something for a weekend visit from relatives. You know, and also there, you know, looking it over, I think the tax situation has something called a V1 and V2. I don't know, they've got a classification for camps.
Who does transportation?
Hmm?
Transportation?
No, the grand list.
Oh, the grand list.
Mhm.
What page is camps on? I can't.
192 is the definition.
192.
Well, it's just a definition,
Yeah,
basically.
So we need to come up with something in the bylaws for camps, not just the definition.
So if I recall, where we
Well, it
left.
says, you know, camps are allowed, then you go to the definition.
Yeah.
There you are.
So the question was from last meeting, I believe, obviously David very much disagrees with this based on what you just said, but I believe someone had said last meeting, one thing you could do on the opposite extreme of what David just said is just delete the definition of camps. So everyone has to follow, so every structure follows the same rules, right? And David's saying the opposite. Let's leave it exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously in between, but yeah, like.
One thing in this camp definition, it has no mention of the type of road access.
Right.
And I think that's a really important thing that we have to determine. Is it going to be a road access so the fire department can get there? Or, you know, what is it we're going to allow? And in my view, having really long road access to a camp is another way to fragment forests. And that's something we're trying to avoid.
What if you, because the way it talks about is like a non-primary residence of owner occupant, what if you just start to say, if this becomes a place where, you know, non-owners start to congregate, then it's required that you have some kind of access for health and safety. Like if it's just,
What do you mean?
well, like if David owns a second cabin up in the woods and just him and his kids or grandkids go for weekends here and there, like no big deal. It's just like a house. It could be a crappy driveway. Who cares? But if you're like, hey, I'm going to host the Boy Scouts on a monthly basis up there, then all of a sudden you're bringing the public to it, and now it's a matter of health and safety for those people. So then you need to make certain improvements so that they are safe. Does that make sense?
I think every home in Underhill is required to have good access so the fire department can get there, whether it's you living there or somebody else living there, right?
So
It's also, I don't think this is a
As a
big
primary,
deal.
I don't know. It's a secondary though. I don't know.
I'm just thinking about like the camps that I know of that are in town, like the ones on the mountain road, there's probably 3 or 4 up there. And then there's the ones on Walbrook. There's two down there, maybe 2 or 3. And it seems like the ones on the mountain road already are on roads that are like logging roads, basically. So, but then I started thinking about this from the point of like steep slopes and very steep slopes. So if you're going to build a road to your camp, if it's a new camp, should we we need to put something in here? Like we should just assume that the fire department's not going to get there, you know? Because the one on the mountain road has a gate up, one of them or 2 of them do. There's a gate there already. So what's the fire department going to do if one of those places catches on fire and nobody's there?
Cut the chain.
Yeah,
They carry
but still, it's like, I don't even know how
Well, it
they
would
get
be
insurance.
opened if someone's there. right?
Didn't that
Yeah.
stem from like a thought that like the camp is originally just like
It's a hunting camp.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it gradually
It
grows
started
into
to be
like a
something
house
else.
and then gradually like
Yeah,
Yeah, but
a venue.
It can't become a house because they would have to get a permit and upgrade the driveway to the driveway specifications that are already in the bylaws, like the 10% grade, access or entrance onto the main road and all those things there. And then septic and water. So if you had a camp that was somewhere that you wanted, that you built, that was a camp, a hunting camp, or a place you're gonna go to for the weekend, I think we should allow those, but we need to put something more restrictive in this.
Like if you get
I
caught
don't know.
converting it into a
I don't think
residence
it's a
without a
big
permit.
deal. I mean, there aren't a lot of these going on. Are there any, in fact?
That are,
being built?
people are trying to get a permit to build a camp, are any of them going on?
Yeah.
I don't think there are, but
Yeah, I think
That's
we're
not saying
wasting
that it's
time on
not gonna-
something that just isn't really happening. actually.
yeah, it's not saying, it's like, well, how many people are applying for permits for wedding venues? Like none right now.
Yeah.
So there's one that happened in 30, forever. One happened, one wedding venue, one person applies for a permit for that wedding venue. So now we have to come up with the law to regulate it. So the same thing with camps. I mean, there's a definition here, but that's it.
Well,
So do we need to add more to the definition is the question, right? That's what
I'm
we're
not sure
looking
that
at.
we do, a wedding venue, that's a big deal sort of a thing. I mean, you getting a lot of people basically. So, but a camp is it's hardly a noticeable thing and it's really not even happening actually.
Yeah.
I
But
don't think we have to worry about it.
I don't know.
How do other people feel?
I think we should put something in here about the road.
I think the
Road
roads
to
need, yeah.
So there's
I mean,
road.
No,
I don't know. I mean, it does say that it's defined as a building that lacks basic amenities. So I mean, could you really live there full time? I mean, I don't know. I did see a front porch post recently of people asking for sawdust for their outhouse, which made me wonder what kind of living conditions are you in with an outhouse, but who knows? So maybe you can survive in this thing.
you can't
with
live
a
in,
latrine?
you can't
I know for more than
be in
180
180 days.
Yeah.
So
And
that's,
it lacks, so it is kind of like
right,
a pretty rustic
right.
heap of stuff.
Yeah, there's one right on Stevensville. The guy, it's a summer camp.
Tim, how do you feel?
I think it can be vague, the camps, the existing camps, hunting camps, that's one thing. But I think it could be fancier than that and on how it evolves.
So you like grandfather those and like moving forward?
It seems like it could be more like a house. What's the difference between a camp and a house? It's just the occupancy at this point in the regulation.
That one, like I said, it
And
does
missing,
lack one or more basic amenities,
Right.
services, or utilities required for year round.
It still could be a pretty nice place.
Oh, sure, just look at some of the off-grid camps in the Adirondacks. I mean, they can cost $2 million.
Yeah. If you're gonna build a camp and you're gonna drive in, not hike in, then don't you have to meet the town drive specs?
Well, then probably would
Yeah, I
eliminate,
would think so.
Yeah.
If you're hiking in, that's one thing. If
or
you're
a four-wheeler, if you're taking your four-wheeler in,
Yeah.
you pull into the access road and then you drive your four-wheeler up to it.
Well, this goes to Sandy, sort of what Sandy's been bringing up. Basically, do we want something about
Access.
road access?
Like, you can't build it on a very steep slope, which is very greater than 25%. I mean, that's a logical start.
I don't know if that's what you're
That's-
saying too, but
well, you're saying that if you do a camp, then you have to do the road? See, I would
I'm
think,
just asking, to just bring it up. I'm not suggesting.
yeah, so I'm
anything.
thinking if you have to do a road, then you have the driveway specifications.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You're saying.
But
you
if you're
should
gonna
have to
walk
do a road.
in,
Yeah,
then
you
you
know,
don't,
walk in, or,
or you take your
You're saying-
four-wheeler.
You
Or four-wheeler.
shouldn't have to do a
woods or
road, but
something.
if you
Yeah.
do, it should meet the driveway specifications. So okay. And what if you, what if you have a thing you can get your four-wheeler out? Does that count as a road?
No,
So you can just do whatever.
Like a turnaround, like parking lot, and then
right.
drive your quad up.
Yeah, four-wheeler just
Does
hauling
that at
in
least get it
materials
close
to
enough?
build a camp.
I mean, I don't know what kind of equipment our fire and ambulance have, but I know like going to tons of national parks, they got some pretty sweet gear to get in and out of some of those trails.
No,
I
the
don't
fire
think-
department would not.
They just let it burn.
Yeah,
I was thinking more just like health, like somebody has a heart attack, maybe. Like, I feel like any structure around here is gonna burn because there's no
Yeah.
hydrants. They're just
Yeah.
there to make sure it doesn't set the forest on fire or the neighbors.
Right.
It's more like a managed burn
Yeah,
down, you know?
true.
And there's no size limit on this either, so you could have like up on Craig's zone where there's existing access with logging roads, you could build a big structure up in his sugar woods. And access it with a tractor.
Hmm.
Or a four-wheel drive, or four-wheeler.
Okay, well, maybe we should just say that if somebody's looking to build a new camp, the road should be built to the standards for a house, or they need to access it by
So wait a
walking
minute,
in.
so you're saying if you build a camp, then you have to have a road that's built to specifications
Well,
to
if you're gonna build a road. it has-
if you're gonna build a road.
Yeah,
If you're gonna build a road, you have to follow the town specifications.
yeah. But I mean, think of all the wood lots around here where somebody could build a camp. And there are already roads in place to get
Mhm.
access to the woods.
Mhm.
Where do you draw the line?
I know. This is the thing. The one I'm thinking of is a, I don't know if it's a sugar bush or a wood lot, really steep slopes, which are exempt for logging. But then, there's a camp at the top. And so that is being used as the access and the erosion, there's no requirements for how that's maintained. So, it's a little bit of a loophole and,
There are requirements if they're in land use.
For a logging road, there's logging.
You have to
road
maintain
requirements.
your logging roads.
They have to be built to a certain grade and.
No,
Not great.
not great. Basically, you can't allow erosion to set in.
And that's monitored.
So,
by-
yeah, it's-
By the forest.
The county forester monitors that. And of course, he's spread real thin, but
Yeah.
he will go around and check the roads. And if he sees erosion, then he'll let you know that you have to fix it or else lose your land use.
So then you just defer that to that then, whatever that statute or rule is about logging road maintenance,
Well,
or
the two-
erosion maintenance.
The two questions, I guess, that we have to decide are if we want to do anything around, I hear what Sandy's saying. They are basically taking advantage of a loophole, whatever that is, right? Like the road's there for logging and you use it to access a camp and got around all the town regulations regarding roads. So do we want to do anything about that general thing? And Tim just mentioned, I don't know if everyone heard it. Do we want some square footage limitation?
For the camp.
I think there is one, isn't there?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could, I mean, technically under this definition, you could put in $1 million off-grid house.
A really cool lodge that you could
Yeah.
just hike into.
Now, I don't know what the likelihood of that is. I'm not saying it's likely, but technically allowed.
I mean, yurts are really popular or becoming popular. Is it easy to do that and suddenly occupy it 180 days or more? Because who's checking the 180-day policy?
No, nobody.
Right.
You might do a size regulation, size limitation.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
700 square feet.
It's funny you say that. I was
Yeah.
gonna, for some reason I had 750 in my head. That's just the number that popped in
I
my
was thinking
head. She
small,
said
too.
700. 750 was the number that popped in my head.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Seven.
Yeah.
Is everyone good with 700?
Yeah.
Okay, that just leaves, do we want to say anything about, I don't even know how we would quite do this, but do we want to say something about, I don't even know if we use the word road, access?
I think
Right.
if 700 square foot building burns down, I don't know if the fire department's gonna waste their time on that.
Oh, not even that, just erosion and stuff.
Oh,
that Ken was
erosion,
talking
yeah.
about, yeah.
I like David's suggestion, where roads are created, town road rules apply.
If you create a new
If you're
road,
building a new road.
Where new road? Well, what if you're taking advantage of a logging?
because that seems
Well,
like a
just
much
use
more
it.
likely
If
scenario.
you're
Yeah.
just using a logging road, I don't see that you
Yeah.
have to
It's
change.
there.
Okay.
When the steep slopes definition, that jurisdiction on the camp construction.
The steep slope is greater than 25%, is that or is it, that's a very steep slope, right?
Well, I think if you change the use of the road, because it was a logging road, now it's a camp access road, does that throw it into something?
I wouldn't say so.
Or is it just maintain it?
It's just an existing,
You can't disturb
logging road.
the build on the steep slope, can you?
Yeah, yeah, it's funny, the problem is almost not even the ongoing access, it's how you would build, how would you build up there?
Right. So you
I
have,
mean,
Covered in.
people are creating.
but there's enough land surrounding that was within a lower pitch area.
Yeah, what about
Is that how? we do it?
clearing around a camp? Is it okay to clear
Oof.
a huge area? Another example I saw where they cleared a huge area so that you get a good view.
Yeah.
I don't know that we want
That's
to
another-
micromanage everything.
Yeah, you can't.
People can do that anywhere.
Yeah, you can, you build a house.
It has to be
clear.
less than 40 acres
Yeah.
cleared.
Camps are still subject to the 1,500 feet though, right?
Oh, wait, they are?
Yes.
Oh, so camps, so any, it
I'm
can't
just
be
thinking
above
about clearing.
1,500 feet.
So, yeah, they're not
Okay.
gonna get up crazy high.
Yeah, right.
Well, do you want to think about the road thing, Sandy? Not to put it on you, but do you think there's a suggestion you could come up with for the group?
Sure. I think I just said it.
Say it again, say it again.
I'm okay with the status.
If you put in a new road,
Let's see, where did I write it?
What, you reckon here?
Oh, yeah. Where a new road is created, town road rules apply. I mean, you have to write the specific.
Driveway rules?
Yeah.
Driveway.
what if a new road is created or the use is changed to what? Does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's still a tiny little, what if it's a little trail? No, it's start.
And so you say, oh, that trail, that was already there.
Yeah,
so
that's, people are,
my
someone's
road.
just gonna tell you it was already
You mean changing the use from a disused logging road to a camp?
there. Or anything, or, yeah, someone's gonna say, I mean, it seems like the most obvious argument. Well, this was a logging road 30 years ago and I'm just
Yeah.
bringing it back.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna do some logging to get up to where I wanna build my
I'm
camp.
gonna bring this one log.
Yeah, when I
in.
get it, one log thing. Ooh. That'll mess you up every time.
So are you comfortable with what you just said, Sandy? You think that covers most of it? Can you say it again?
Gets you closer, right?
Can you say it one more time? Sorry. Where a new road is created,
Town road rules apply, town driveway.
Driveway, yeah.
Town driveway.
What's everybody think of that? What do you think, Bart?
Oh, definitely.
It's a good start, yeah.
yeah, okay. Wow.
I think it'll probably eliminate a lot of people from building a road, but still, it seems like there's a way around it.
Well, it probably coaches the biggest thing we want, which is if someone decided to do what Tim said. Like, you're not gonna build some fancy camp
Yeah.
and access it with a
4-wheeler.
Right, you have to
Right.
get all the material up there. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, that's great. All right. Cool, look at that. Man, we're.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you always gotta write all this stuff for like the 10% that views it.
Yeah.
You know, the 90% will read it like, okay, I won't do that. The 10% is like, oh, I could, if I do it this way,
Here's a loophole.
yeah, I can get around that.
Okay, so next meeting, well, first of all, next meeting is not a meeting, because it's the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. And then the meeting after that, I think what we'll do is we'll go through wedding venues again. And then we'll go through the blues on this, which is the new ones,
Okay.
that Penny played. I will warn you in advance that some of the blue ones have to do with accessory dwellings and stuff. And a few of them are
Really?
things that we didn't really think of before.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And we will endeavor to record the entire meeting. Those will be our goals. Can I get a motion to adjourn, David? You already have your hand
I'm
up.
still struggling with the editing process, and so I'm not,
So here's what
hang on to it.
I have all of them in here, every one,
Yeah,
that we have made in this round.
yeah, right.
And I am going to give this to the elusive planning and zoning
Not
administrator.
yet.
Yes. Future.
You're
planning and
having
zoning.
trouble with this thing.
No, it's not ideal, but I don't know what else to do. to be
Yeah,
honest.
right.
And maybe when the time comes, because I know you've kept very good notes, the three of us can sit down and make sure that nothing was missed. But I don't believe it was.
Yeah.
So, yep.
David, would you like me to do it? I can do the editing.
If you want to do editing, I mean, it's like, taking a whole article basically and going through and all the little details. It's just a lot of work. Right?
I've transcribed them
Anybody
all
wants to.
into here, I think. But yeah, except for yours from last week, because they're voluminous enough that I made a comment and said, see the attached changes. But everyone else I've handwritten, every other one I've handwritten.
And if we do finally get a zoning administrator,
Well, that's who should be doing it, right? Like,
that person.
So they're the
is
one
supposed
who
to do
should be
this.
typing it up and.
yeah, they should take these, enter them in the Word document,
Yeah.
and have a
Yeah,
revised
they're getting
thing
paid.
for us. And not only that, but hopefully a good planning and zoning administrator would see what they say, oh, I see what you did here, but we also need to catch that change in this section,
Yeah,
in that
right.
section.
Uh,
Anyway.
Mm.
Oops, I just opened email for somebody. Okay. Well, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Yes.
David, Beth, second, all in favor?
All right,
All right, thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Right.